Okay. So we will discuss about the fat soluble vitamins. 4 vitamins are there, fat soluble vitamins. They are vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. Vitamins A, D, E and K, all these 4 vitamins are called as fat soluble vitamins. So here in this slide I have mentioned about the comparison between fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. So follow carefully. Fat soluble vitamins, if you see the solubility property of these vitamins in fat soluble vitamins are soluble, whereas water soluble vitamins are not soluble in fat, and fat soluble vitamins are not soluble in water, and water soluble vitamins are soluble only in water but not in fat. So the classification of the vitamins is mainly based on their solubility property. Water soluble vitamins, they dissolve in water. Fat soluble vitamins, they are soluble only in fatty substances. That is the first criteria for the classification of the vitamins. So solubility, fat soluble vitamins are soluble in fat, whereas water soluble vitamins are not soluble in fat and soluble in water. Coming to the absorption, fat soluble vitamins are absorbed along with the lipids and they require bile salts for their absorption. They require bile salts for their absorption. Water soluble vitamins, the absorption is simple. They can be absorbed readily from the intestine except vitamin B12. Except vitamin B12, all other water soluble vitamins are absorbed readily from the intestine. Carrier proteins are required for the absorption of fat soluble vitamins, and whereas water soluble vitamins does not require any carrier proteins. Fat soluble vitamins are stored in liver, whereas water soluble vitamins are not stored in body. They are not stored in the body. Only fat soluble vitamins are stored in our body, that is in the liver. So since water soluble vitamins are not stored in the body, they should be taken along with the diet. Every day whatever we are eating the food, along with that food these water soluble vitamins will be taken up and absorbed by the body and excreted in urine as well. So excretion, if you come to see the excretion, fat soluble vitamins are not excreted. They are not excreted because they are stored in the body. They are not excreted immediately, whereas water soluble vitamins, they are not stored. Every day from the diet it will be absorbed, utilized by the body, and they are excreted from the body in urine. And coming to the deficiency manifestations of fat soluble vitamins, the deficiency of these fat soluble vitamins manifests only when stores are depleted, because the body is having the fat soluble vitamins storage. The deficiency of these vitamins, fat soluble vitamins, symptoms will appear only when the body stores are finished. Depleted means they are used up. So when the body stores are used up, only fat soluble vitamins or deficiency is reflected. Deficiency symptoms are reflected. Whereas water soluble vitamins, the deficiency of water soluble vitamins manifest rapidly as there is no storage. Because these vitamins, water soluble vitamins, are not stored in our body, the deficiency manifestations are reflected immediately. So can be seen immediately. If the deficiency of water soluble vitamins comes, the deficiency manifestations will appear immediately. Coming to the toxicity, means excessive doses. If you take these vitamins in excessive doses, that is called toxicity. So fat soluble vitamins, if you take in excessive amount, hypervitaminosis may result. Toxicity means hypervitaminosis, excessive concentration, that is toxicity. Water soluble vitamins, toxicity is unlikely because the excessive vitamins or the vitamins, water soluble vitamins are used up every day and excreted from the body. Since there is no storage, there is no question of toxicity for the excessive dose of water soluble vitamins, because they are soluble in water and can be excreted in urine. Treatment of deficiency. Fat soluble vitamins, they need single large doses, can prevent the deficiency manifestations. So single large doses of fat soluble vitamins can be given, and for the treatment of deficiency of these vitamins. For water soluble vitamins, regular dietary supply is required. Regular dietary supply is required. The major vitamins under fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E and K. Water soluble vitamins, vitamin B complex, it includes various types of vitamin B complex. Vitamin B complex, why it is called? It includes various types of vitamins like vitamin B1, B2, B3, B4, B6, B12. Like this, there are different types are there in the vitamin B itself. So that is why it is called as B complex. That is why it is called as vitamin B complex. And vitamin C. Vitamin B complex and vitamin C comes under water soluble vitamins, whereas vitamin A, D, E and K comes under fat soluble vitamins. So deficiency of vitamins. How this deficiency of vitamins can occur? It is because of reduced intake. Suppose our diet does not contain sufficient amount of vitamins, then that can be a cause for reduced intake. So as a result, deficiency of vitamins can occur. Second possibility is impaired absorption. Impaired absorption. So you are taking food and your food contains adequate quantities of vitamins, but when the food gets digested, the absorption should be proper to absorb these vitamins. If the absorption is not taking place properly, that is called impaired absorption. So in case of impaired absorption also, people can develop deficiency of vitamins. Then impaired metabolism. Impaired metabolism. So impaired metabolism means the metabolism, many metabolisms are happening in the body, and if there is impairment in the metabolism coordination, in that case also there can be possibility of vitamin deficiency. Then additional requirements, like in case of pregnancy, in case of lactation, lactating mothers, in such cases the requirement of vitamins will be very high, because the fetus development and the child feeding requires lot of vitamins, so it will be consumed by the child. So in that case there will be additional requirements. If the additional requirements or body additional requirements are not met properly, then in that case also there can be possibility of deficiency of vitamins. Then increased losses. Suppose the body is not utilizing these vitamins properly and it is getting excreted from the body, then in that case also there is possibility for the development of deficiency of these vitamins. So deficiency of vitamins can occur because of reduced intake of vitamins, impaired absorption, impaired metabolism, additional requirements such as in pregnancy and lactation. Then increased losses means increased excessive excretion of these vitamins. Increased excretion of these vitamins can cause increased loss, which can result in the deficiency of vitamins. So we will see the fat soluble vitamins first. Today we will see about the vitamin A. We will see about the vitamin A. So vitamin A is called retinol. So vitamin A includes natural and synthetic forms of vitamin A. Vitamin A includes both natural and synthetic forms of vitamin A. This biologically active form of vitamin A is 4 types. Retinol, see the spelling carefully, retinol, retinal, retinoic acid, beta carotene. Retinol means OL, means alcohol group is there. Retinol, Al means aldehyde group is there. Retinoic acid, then beta carotene. So there are four biologically active forms are there for vitamin A, that is retinol, retinoic acid and beta carotene. All four are called as vitamin A, and these are biologically active forms of vitamin A. If you see the chemistry of vitamin A, the active form is present only in animal tissues. Active form of vitamin A is present only in animal tissues. It cannot be seen in plants. So active form of the vitamins is seen only in animal tissues. The provitamin of vitamin A. Provitamin means the pre-existing form of the pre-existing active form of the vitamin A is called provitamin. Pre-existing form of the vitamin A is called provitamin, that is beta carotene. Provitamin is beta carotene. Beta carotene has two beta ion rings. Beta carotene has two beta ion rings connected by a polyprenoid chain, and one molecule of beta carotene can theoretically give rise to two molecules of vitamin A. So beta carotene is the provitamin. Beta carotene is provitamin. Provitamin means it is not the active form of the vitamin, it is the pre-existing form of the vitamin. It is the pre-existing form of the vitamin A. So that is beta carotene. This beta carotene is connected by two beta ion rings by a polyprenoid chain. So it gives, if you break the beta carotene, it gives literally two molecules of vitamin A. Active forms of vitamin A, two molecules are formed by the cleavage of one molecule of beta carotene. Beta carotene is not the active form, it is the provitamin. Okay. So vitamin A, beta carotene may produce only one in biological systems. See, now this diagram you see, down it is given beta carotene. Down you can see the beta carotene. So this is two beta ion rings. So on with the cleavage of this beta carotene, we can get two vitamin A forms. So it can be a retinol and retinoic acid. We'll see. We'll tell you about these three forms. So all compounds with vitamin A activity are referred to as retinoids. You take any compound which is having a activity similar to that of vitamin A, they are called as retinoids. They are polyisoprenoid compounds having beta ion ring. So three different compounds of vitamin A are seen. They are retinol, OL. It contains the functional group alcohol. Vitamin A alcohol functional group. Retinol, Al. Spelling you see, last two words are Al. Second one, that is vitamin A aldehyde group. Retinoic acid means vitamin A with acid, COOH group. Retinol, OL means alcohol group will be there. retinol, Al means aldehyde group will be there, retinoic acid means COOH group will be there. These three are the active forms of the vitamin A, whereas beta carotene is the precursor or what do you call provitamin. So the retinol may be reduced to retinol by the enzyme retinol reductase. An enzyme will be there in the retina of the eye. So the retinol may be reduced to retinol by the enzyme retinol reductase. So aldehyde form can be reduced to alcohol form of the vitamin A by the enzyme retinol reductase action. This reaction is readily reversible. So it can be, retinol can be converted to retinol, means alcohol can be converted to aldehyde reversibly with the same enzyme. So retinol is oxidized to retinoic acid also. Retinol Al form means aldehyde form can be oxidized to retinoic acid, which cannot be converted back to the other forms. Once retinoic acid is formed, you cannot make retinol and retinol. Remember, retinol can be converted to retinol and retinol can be converted to retinol. Similarly, retinol can be converted to retinoic acid, but once retinoic acid is formed, retinoic acid cannot be converted to retinol again. That you should remember. Now see, whatever I have explained, shown in this equation. Retinol is the alcohol form of the vitamin A, is converted to retinol, means which is aldehyde form, by the enzyme retinol reductase. Same enzyme retinol reductase can convert this retinol aldehyde form of the vitamin A to retinol alcohol form of the vitamin A. And retinol, which is aldehyde form, can be oxidized to retinoic acid, that is COOH group. But once retinoic acid is formed, this reaction is not reversible. It is only one directional. It is forward reaction, but backward reaction cannot take place. So in this reaction, you can see the interconversion of vitamin A molecule. That is retinol, aldehyde form of the vitamin A, can be converted to retinol and retinoic acid. To convert into retinol alcohol form of the vitamin A, we need retinol reductase. And retinol alcohol form of the vitamin A can be converted to the aldehyde form of the vitamin A, that is retinol, by the same enzyme. So this reaction, conversion of retinol to retinol, retinol to retinol, is a two-way reaction. Whereas conversion of retinol into retinoic acid is irreversible reaction. Once retinoic acid is formed, it cannot be converted back to retinol. Now the side chain contains alternate double bonds. If you see the vitamin structure, vitamin A structure, it contains some alternate, some side chains, That side chain contains an alternate double bonds. So and hence many isomers are possible. See, wherever there is single bond, the possibility of isomers is only enantiomer or anomers is possible. When double bonds are present, many isomers are possible. So this vitamin A can exist in different isomers because of the presence of these double bonds. The all trans variety of retinol is also called as vitamin A1. Retinol, all trans retinol, aldehyde form of the vitamin A, is also called vitamin A1. Is the most common form of the vitamin A in human beings or in other animals. Vitamin A2 is found in fish oils and has an extra double bond in the ring compared with the vitamin A1. This biologically important compound of vitamin A is 11-cis retinol. It is called 11-cis retinol. Coming to the sources of vitamin A, animal sources, majorly these fat soluble vitamins, all fat soluble vitamins are sources comes from animal sources only, like milk, butter, cream, cheese, egg yolk, liver, fish liver oil. All these animal sources are good sources of vitamin A. Sources is very important. When you are writing any vitamin in your exam, always you should start with the introduction, followed by the chemistry of the vitamin, followed by the sources of vitamin, followed by the importance or significance of the vitamin, then the recommended dietary allowance RDA, then the deficiency manifestations, then followed by toxicity. These are the side headings you should follow when you are writing this vitamin A in your exams, or any kind of vitamin is asked in your exams. These are the subheadings you should make, and you should write the points relevant to the subheading which you have put in your vitamin. So sources of vitamins is very important, everybody should know. Majorly these fat soluble vitamins are from animals. The animals products like milk, butter, cream, cheese, egg yolk, liver, fish liver oil are good sources of vitamin A. And vegetables, carrot, everybody knows, all of you knows that carrot is a very good source of beta carotene. So this beta carotene is a provitamin, is digested, and during the process of digestion it is broken down into two vitamin A form molecules. One beta carotene, when it is broken, it gives two vitamin A molecules. Then papaya, mango is also a very good source of vitamin A. Pumpkin, green leafy vegetables like spinach, amaranthus. So these leafy vegetables, green leafy vegetables, are also good sources of vitamin A. Sources of vitamins is very important. Now RDA means recommended dietary allowance, or required dietary allowance. So per day, how much of this vitamin is required for the body is given age wise. If it is children, 400 to 600 micrograms per day of vitamin A is required. Men, adult men, 750 to 1000 micrograms per day is required. Woman, adult woman, 750 micrograms per day is required. In case of pregnant woman or lactating mothers, 1000 micrograms per day of vitamin A is required in their diet. Okay, micrograms. So children 400 to 600 micrograms per day, men 750 to 1000 micrograms per day, women 750 micrograms per day, and in case of pregnant women or lactating mothers, 1000 micrograms per day of vitamin A is required by the body. Now absorption of vitamin A. How this absorbed from the intestine after the digestion. So beta carotene is cleaved by a dioxygenase to form retinol. Beta carotene, let's say if you are eating papaya or carrot, which is rich in beta carotenes. So this beta carotene, during the process of digestion, it is cleaved by an enzyme called dioxygenase, which forms retinol, means vitamin A1, vitamin A1 form of the vitamin A. So retinol is formed. The retinol is reduced to retinol and can be absorbed from the intestinal mucosa. Retinol is reduced to retinol by an NADH dependent enzyme called retinol reductase, and it is absorbed from the intestinal mucosa. And in the intestine, the major site for the absorption for this vitamin A is intestine. So vitamin A is absorbed mainly from the intestine. So the absorption is along with other fats and requires bile salts. So absorption of these fat soluble vitamins requires bile salts and bile acids. You know that during the process of digestion, bile juice is secreted into the duodenum and it mixes up with the food or bolus in the duodenum, and from the duodenum it enters into the small intestine, so where further digestion of the fat substances takes place, and these vitamins, fat soluble vitamins, are absorbed along with the other fats with the help of bile salts and bile pigments, bile salts and bile acids, So in the biliary tract obstruction and steatorrhea, vitamin A absorption is reduced. So biliary tract obstruction, suppose bile duct is opening into the duodenum. If any block is there to the bile duct, means that is obstruction. So bile juice will not be secreted into the duodenum. So as a result, vitamin A is not absorbed. And another condition called steatorrhea. Steatorrhea means the excretion of lipids or fat substances in the feces. There is a limit for the excretion of lipid substances in the feces. But if the digestion of lipids is not taking place properly because of the deficiency of the enzymes required for the lipid digestion is not is there, if deficiency of these digestive enzymes helpful for lipid digestion are deficient, in that case what will happen, lipids are not digested properly, so more amount of lipids are excreted from the body. That condition is called as steatorrhea. Steatorrhea means excessive excretion of fats in the feces. So that also results in the poor absorption of the vitamin A from the intestine. So within the mucosal cell, the retinol is re-esterified with fatty acids and is incorporated for the transportation purpose. So in the intestinal mucosal cell, the retinol Al form is converted to retinol OL alcohol form, and in the intestinal mucosal, after absorption, it is esterified with the fatty acids and it is incorporated for the transportation purpose into the chylomicrons, incorporated into the chylomicrons and transported to the liver for distribution to various organs. So in the liver stellate cells, vitamin A is stored as retinol palmitate. Vitamin A is stored as retinol palmitate, and from the liver these vitamins are distributed to various cells and organs of the body. Transport of this vitamin A from the liver to the tissues. The vitamin A from liver is transported to the peripheral tissues as trans retinol by the retinol binding protein, RBP. I have written as the RBP. RBP means retinol binding protein. This retinol binding protein helps in the transportation of vitamin A from the liver to the peripheral tissues. Peripheral tissues means skeletal muscle, heart and other important organs of the body. One molecule of retinol binding protein binds with one molecule of retinol. In case of vitamin A deficiency, the retinol binding protein level in the blood decreases. So vitamin A is transported from the liver to the peripheral tissues with the help of a protein called retinol binding protein. Uptake by tissues. The retinol binding protein complex, RBP means, you remember, retinol binding protein. So retinol and RBP forms a complex called retinol RBP complex. It binds to specific receptors on the retina, skin, gonads and other tissues. So this complex goes and binds with the specific receptors that are present on the target tissues like retina, skin, gonads and other tissues. The retinol binding protein does not enter into the cell. So only the retinol will enter into the cells. But for binding, the complex formation is required for transportation, and once the binding is over with the target tissues, retinol binding protein is removed and retinol only enters into the cells. So inside the cytoplasm of cells, vitamin A binds to the cellular retinoic acid binding protein. Retinoic acid binding protein, CRBP, means cellular retinoic acid binding protein. And finally, to hormone responsive elements called HRE, hormone responsive elements of DNA. Thus, the genes are activated for the action. Now see, in this diagram, the summary of the vitamin A metabolism is shown. In the intestine, with the help of bile salts and bile acids, the vitamin A absorption takes place, and in the intestinal mucosal cells, this retinol, aldehyde form of the vitamin A, is converted to retinol, which is an alcoholic form of the vitamin A, and it is esterified with the fatty acids and transported to the liver. Transported to the liver in the form of retinol ester, because that esterified with fatty acid, it is called retinol ester. And in the liver it is stored, and from the liver it is transported to the peripheral tissues with the help of the retinol binding protein, and once it reaches the target tissues, which is mentioned in the green color here, in the target tissue the retinol binds with the target tissue receptors and it enters inside the cell. Inside the cell it binds with the retinoic acid binding protein, cellular retinoic acid binding protein, and it reacts with the hormone responsive elements and produces the action, so that the particular gene segment on the DNA gets activated for further action. So this is what vitamin A metabolism. Now what is the role of vitamin A? Biochemical role of vitamin A. This is very important. So it has got a role in visual cycle. Visual cycle. This is called Wald's visual cycle because the scientist who has reported this reported this cycle in his name. This is named as Wald's visual cycle. So this was observed by the scientist Wald, and he was awarded Nobel Prize for this discovery. So he told that this retinol is having a role in vision. So for this he got Nobel Prize. What he told is, there is a protein called rhodopsin which plays an important role in the vision in the eye. So rhodopsin is seen in the retina of the eye, which is very essential for the vision. This is a membrane protein. Rhodopsin is a membrane protein found in the photoreceptor cells of the retina. So this rhodopsin is made up of a protein called opsin and prosthetic group called 11-cis retinol. 11-cis retinol. Protein opsin plus a prosthetic group 11-cis retinol makes up the protein rhodopsin, which is present in the retina. So rhodopsin is made up of opsin and 11-cis retinol. This 11-cis retinol is nothing but vitamin A, aldehyde form of the vitamin A. So when the light falls on the retina of the eye, the 11-cis retinol present in rhodopsin isomerizes to all trans retinol form. So this retinol has got two forms, 11-cis retinol, all trans retinol. So this rhodopsin consists of opsin plus 11-cis retinol. When the light falls on the eye and enters into the retina, and the retina which contains rhodopsin, it contains 11-cis retinol. So when the light touches the retina, this 11-cis retinol is isomerized to a form called all-trans retinol form. These visual pigments are G-protein coupled receptors, and 11-cis retinol locks the receptor protein opsin. So because of the isomerization, a photoexcitation leads to the activation of G proteins and generation of cyclic GMP. Okay. So the cyclic GMP acts as a gate for cation specific channels, and this transducin is the G protein in case of retina. This generates a nerve impulse in the retina, which is transmitted to the visual centers in the brain. So the signal is terminated by phosphorylation of a serine residue of activated rhodopsin by an enzyme called rhodopsin kinase, so that the inhibitory protein beta A arrestin can bind and inactive the rhodopsin protein. I will show you the cycle itself, then I will talk so that you will be able to understand here. Now see, this is the Wahl's visual cycle summary. On the top you see rhodopsin, which is a visual pigment that is present in the retina of the eye. So when the light touches the retina of the eye, this rhodopsin is converted, rhodopsin which contains this 11-cis retinol is converted into all-trans retinol. All-trans retinol. This all-trans retinol in the retinal epithelium is converted to cis-retinol by the enzyme retinal isomerase that is present in the retina. Or this trans-retinol can be transported from the retina into the liver, and in the liver this trans-retinol is converted to trans-retinol, further to cis-retinol and cis-retinol. This cis-retinol from the liver enters into the retinal epithelium. So what happens for a vision? What if let us see, I will give you one best example. When you are going into the cinema theater, once the movie is started and you are entering into the cinema theater by pushing the door, what you will see? All the lights are closed. There is no light, only the screen will be glowing. Suppose you have to go and sit in your particular seat as per your seat number, but the movie started, they have turned off the lights. So when you are going from outside, which is a bright area, and you are entering into a dark room, what will happen? As and when you open the door and you go inside, you cannot be able to see for a moment. You cannot be able to see anything for a moment, because the rhodopsin, which consists of opsin and retinol, has to be converted for the bright vision and the night vision. So rods and cones, two things will be there, rods and cones. Cones are responsible for bright vision, rods are responsible for dark vision or night vision. So this rhodopsin consists of 11-cis retinol plus opsin, and this opsin, when the light falls on this 11-cis retinol, this is converted to opsin and all-trans retinol, and all-trans retinol is converted to trans-retinol, again cis-retinol, and cis-retinol is converted to 11-cis retinol. So the availability of this 11-cis retinol in rods and cones decides the vision, vision exchange from the light vision to the dark vision. So the continuous, suppose you are from the bright area, you are entering into the dark area in the movie theater. So immediately your rod should get active. It takes some time for the activation, that is called adaptation time, dark adaptation time. After few seconds, now you will be able to see the things that are present in the dark room. So it takes some time to get adapt to the dark vision. That is called adaptation time. When this will be good? So for few people what will happen, some night blindness will be there. Night blindness, you might have seen in many movies that night blindness characters also. Evening time, when 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock is over, when the sun goes, they will not be able to see. They will go to their neighbor's house, not to their house, if they are reaching the house lately. So they cannot see the things in the night vision or dark vision, because they have the deficiency of this protein rhodopsin, which consists of 11-cis retinol. So this night blindness is majorly because of the deficiency of vitamin A. So the availability of vitamin A decides the conversion of 11-cis retinol to all-trans retinol, and all-trans retinol should be immediately converted to 11-cis retinol via formation of trans retinol, cis retinol, and again to 11-cis retinol. So all trans retinol to 11-cis retinol conversion takes some time, and it should take place immediately. So this plays an important role in the vision. So conversion of all trans retinol to 11-cis retinol should take place in night vision. So this all happens in case of sufficient amount of vitamin A availability. If vitamin A is not sufficient, because sometimes all trans retinol from the retina is transported from the retinal epithelium via blood to the liver, and in the liver only it gets converted to cis retinol, and from the liver again it has come to retina. So it takes more time in case of vitamin A deficiency. If adequate quantities of vitamin A is present, immediately all trans retinol is converted to cis retinol, and cis retinol is converted to 11-cis retinol. Again rhodopsin will be formed, so dark vision will be very good. So how frequently this all trans retinol is converted to 11-cis retinol decides the dark vision adaptation time. So this is reported by the scientist George Wald in 1967. He has got Nobel Prize for this Wald's visual cycle. So the dark adaptation mechanism I have also told you just now. You can see bright light depletes the stores of rhodopsin in rods. So therefore when a person shifts suddenly from bright light to a dim light, there is difficulty in seeing. After few minutes, rhodopsin is resynthesized and vision is improved. This is called dark adaptation time. This dark adaptation time is more in case of vitamin A deficiency people. So as I told you, rods are for vision in dim light, cones are for the vision in bright light. So rods are responsible for the precipitation in dim light. So rhodopsin present in rods is made up of 11-cis retinol and opsin. So deficiency of cis retinol will lead to increase in dark adaptation time and night blindness. So rhodopsin made up of 11-cis retinol. So availability of adequate amount of vitamin A makes the availability of rhodopsin availability in the body in sufficient quantities, so that the dark adaptation time will be minimal. Yes. Now coming to the functions of vitamin A, as I told, 3 active forms are there for vitamin A, that is retinol, retinol, retinoic acid. Out of 3, retinol is the active form required for normal vision. Retinoic acid is implicated in growth and differentiation of tissues, and retinol is necessary for the reproductive system. Vitamin A is essential for the development and maturation of gonads. So it has role in reproductive system. Retinol acts like a steroid hormone in controlling the expression of certain genes. So vitamin A is acting like a steroid hormone and controls certain genes. This may account for the requirement of vitamin A for normal reproduction. Now vitamin A has antioxidant property also. There is a correlation between the occurrence of epithelial cancers and vitamin A deficiency. So vitamin A is very important in preventing certain epithelial or skin cancers. The anti-cancer activity has been attributed to natural antioxidant property of carotenoids also. Now, fresh vegetables containing carotenoids reduces the incidence of cancer. So, it is very good to eat carrot, papaya, mango, which is rich in vitamin A sources, and carotenoids also. So, these carotenoids can prevent the can prevent the incidence of cancer. So, beta carotenes may be useful in preventing heart attacks also. Vitamin A is necessary for the maintenance of normal epithelium and the skin, and vitamin A is helpful in the vision also. Retinol function in synthesis of certain glycoproteins and mucopolysaccharides, and phosphorylation of retinol to retinyl phosphate function similar to that of dolicol phosphate compound. So, very important point. Now we have come to the deficiency manifestations of vitamin A. Deficiency manifestations of vitamin A, that is night blindness. Deficiency of vitamin A causes night blindness. It is also called as or nyctalopia. Nyctalopia. Nyctalopia is also called as night blindness. So, deficiency of vitamin A causes night blindness or nyctalopia, means visual acuity is diminished in case of dim light. In case of dim light, visual acuity is diminished. The patient cannot read or drive a car in poor light. So, the dark adaptation time is increased in case of people with vitamin A deficiency, that is called night blindness or nyctalopia. Then another disease that is associated with the vitamin A deficiency is xerophthalmia. Xerophthalmia. The conjunctiva of the eye becomes dry, thick and wrinkled. It gets keratinized and loses its normal transparency. So, as a result, what will happen? Dryness also spreads from the conjunctiva to the cornea of the eye. So, it becomes glazy and lusterless due to keratinization of corneal epithelium, and the infection may supersede. So, xerophthalmia means the keratinization of the conjunctiva of the eye and cornea of the eye, which can result in impairment of the vision. So, keratinization can cause vision impairment. That condition is called xerophthalmia. Another disease associated with vitamin A deficiency is Bitort's spots. These are seen as greyish white triangular plaques firmly adherent to the conjunctiva of the eye. This is due to increased thickness of conjunctiva in certain areas. All the ocular changes mentioned so far are completely reversible when vitamin is supplemented. So, Bitort's spots, if it is identified, if you supply vitamin A, symptoms can be made reversible. Bitort's spots means these are the spots, greyish spots, white triangular plaques that are firmly adherent to the conjunctiva of the eye. So, this is because of the increased thickness of conjunctiva in certain areas. So, if you provide these kind of patients with Bitort's spots with vitamin A, the symptoms can be reversed. Another disease associated with vitamin A deficiency is called keratomalacia. Keratomalacia. So, when xerophthalmia we have discussed earlier, when xerophthalmia persists for a long time, it progresses to condition called keratomalacia, means softening of the cornea. So, as a result, what will happen? There is degeneration of corneal epithelium, which may get vascularized. Later, corneal opacity will develop, and bacterial infection leads to corneal ulceration, perforation of cornea, and can result in total blindness and can